Welcome to the Math School by IFRA. In this video, we are going to discuss Cambridge O-Levels Math Syllabus, Syllabus D for the years 2022, 2023 and 2024. The latest version was published in 2021. These are the contents, table of contents. Okay. Why choose Cambridge International? Now, Cambridge International prepares students for life, helping them develop an informed curiosity and a lasting passion for learning. Now, the Cambridge pathway gives students a clear path for educational success from ages 5 to 19. Schools can shape the curriculum around how they want students to learn, with a wide range of subjects and flexible ways to offer them. It helps students discover new abilities and a wider world, and gives them the skills they need for life so they can achieve at school, university and work. Now, Cambridge programs and qualifications set the global standard for international education. They are created by subject experts rooted in academic rigor and reflect the latest educational research. Now, every year, nearly 1 million Cambridge learners from 10,000 schools in 160 countries prepare for their future with the Cambridge pathway. So their syllabus is very comprehensive and it prepares the student for success. Now, Cambridge learners are confident, responsible, reflective, innovative, and engaged. For more information, you can go to www.cambridgeinternational.org. It also has support for teachers. You can go to www.cambridgeinternational.org/teachers. Support for exam officers, www.cambridgeinternational.org.eo guide, and quality management is also there. So why choose O-Levels? O-Levels, Cambridge O-Levels is typically for 14 to 16-year-olds and is an internationally recognized qualification. It has been designed specially for an international market and is sensitive to the needs of different countries. Cambridge O-Level is designed for learners whose first language may not be English, and this is acknowledged throughout the examination process. Now, Cambridge O-Levels are considered to be the excellent preparation for the Cambridge International AS and A levels, the Cambridge Advanced International Certificate of Education, Diploma, Cambridge Pre-EU and other education programs. Now, why choose Cambridge O-Level Maths? Confidence in the mathematical knowledge. Now, Cambridge O-Level Maths allows learners to gain the following benefits, lifelong benefits. Confidence in their mathematical knowledge, skills in communication and reasoning using mathematical concepts, a solid foundation for further study, the ability to be reflective when considering, the ability to be engaged intellectually by developing a feel for numbers, patterns and relationship, the ability to be innovative. If you are not yet if you are a Cambridge school, then you may make entries for this qualification through usual channels. If you have questions, contact info@cambridgeinternational.org. Now, if you are not a Cambridge school yet, learn from the benefits of becoming a Cambridge school at www.cambridgeinternational.org/start-Cambridge or email at this. The Math School by IFRA currently is not a Cambridge school because in Pakistan the online schools are not registered with Cambridge. So that's why it's not a Cambridge school yet. But the British Council told us that once they start enrolling online schools, then the Math School by IFRA will become a Cambridge school, inshallah. Training facilities are also given. Okay, let's have a look at the syllabus and syllabus content at a glance. All candidates will study the following themes or topics. Number 1, numbers, set language and notation, squares, square roots, cubes and cube roots, direct numbers, vulgar and decimal fraction and percentages, ordering, standard form, the 4 operations, estimations, limits of accuracy, ratio, proportion, rate, percentages, use of an entire calculator, time, money, personal and small business finance, algebraic representation and formulae, algebraic manipulation, indices, solutions of equations and inequalities, graphical representation of inequalities, sequences, variation, graphs in practical situations, graphs of functions, function notation, coordinate geometry, geometrical terms, geometrical constructions, similarity and congruence, symmetry, angles, loci, measures, mensuration, trigonometry, vectors in 2 dimensions, matrices, transformations, probability, categorical, numerical, and group data, statistical diagrams, etc., etc. Assessment at a glance. All candidates will take 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Each paper may contain question on any part of the syllabus and question may assess more than one topic. Now, paper 1. Paper 1 has approximately 25 short answer questions. Candidates should show all working in the spaces provided on the question paper. Essential working must be shown for full marks to be awarded. No calculators are allowed for this paper, and this paper will be weighted at 50% of the total qualification. And paper 2. Paper 2 has approximately 11 structured questions. Candidates should answer all the questions. Electronic calculator may be used and candidates should have access to the calculator for this paper. And candidates should show all working in the spaces provided on the question paper. Essential working must be shown for full marks to be awarded. And this paper is of 100 marks. And the paper will be weighted at 50% of the total qualification. The timetable of the O-level exam can be found through this website. 4024 is available for June and November examination series, and 4029 is examined in the November examination series. Additional material for examination: you need a pair of compasses, protractor, or a ruler. Use of calculator. Paper 1, the use of calculator is prohibited. Paper 2, all candidates should have a silent electronic calculator. A scientific calculator with trigonometric functions is strongly recommended. Algebraic or graphical calculators are not permitted. Now, what are the syllabus aims? To increase the intellectual curiosity, acquire and apply skills and knowledge relating to number, measure, and space in mathematical situations, acquire a foundation appropriate to this further study of maths, appreciate the pattern, structure, and power of maths, and derive satisfaction, enjoyment, and confidence from the understanding of concepts and the mastery of skills. The two assessment objectives of maths are mathematical techniques and applying mathematical techniques to solve the problems. Now, the candidates should be able to recognize the appropriate mathematical procedures, perform calculation by suitable methods, understand system of measurements in everyday use, estimate, approximate, and work to degrees of accuracy, organize, interpret, and present information accurately, use mathematical and other instruments to measure and to draw certain degree of accuracy, recall, apply, and interpret mathematical knowledge in the context of everyday situations. This is the weightage of paper 1 and paper 2. This is the syllabus content in details. Number: candidates should be able to identify and use natural numbers, integers, positive numbers, prime numbers, square numbers, cube numbers, common factors, common multiples, rational and irrational number. In the set language and notation, the candidates should be able to use language, notation, and Venn diagrams to describe sets and represent a relationship between sets. Squares, square roots, cubes, and cube roots. Calculate squares, square roots, cubes, and cube roots of numbers. Directed number: use directed numbers in practical situations. Vulgar and decimal fractions and percentages: use the language and notation of simple, vulgar, and decimal fractions and percentages in appropriate contexts. Ordering: order quantities by magnitude and demonstrate familiarity with the symbols: is equal to, is not equal to, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. Standard form: use the standard form a into 10 to the power n, where n is a positive or negative integer and a is greater than equal to 1 and less than 10. The 4 operations: use the 4 operations for calculations with whole numbers, decimals, and vulgar fractions, including correct ordering of operations and use of brackets. Estimations: make estimates of numbers, quantities, and lengths. Give approximations to specify numbers of significant figures and decimal places and round off answers. Limits of accuracy: give appropriate upper and lower bounds for data given to a specified accuracy. Ratio, proportion, and rate. Percentages: calculate a given percentage of a quantity. Express one quantity as a percentage of another. Calculate percentage increase or decrease. Carry out calculations involving reverse percentages. Use of an electronic calculator. Candidates should be able to use a calculator effectively, apply approximate checks of accuracy, enter a range of measures including time, interpret the calculator display appropriately. Calculate time. Candidates should be able to calculate times in terms of 24-hour clocks and 12-hour clocks, read clocks, dials, and timetables. Money. Candidates should be able to solve problems involving money and convert from one currency to another. Personal and small business finance. Use given data to solve problems on personal and small business finance involving earnings, simple interest, and compound interest. Extract data from tables and charts. Candidates should also be able to use letters to express generalized numbers and express arithmetic progression processes algebraically, substitute numbers for words and letters informally, construct and transform formulae and equations. They should also be able to do algebraic manipulation. Then they should understand indices, the rules of indices, use and interpret positive, negative, fractional, and zero indices. They should be able to solve simple linear equations, solve fractional equations with the numerical and linear algebraic denominators, solve simultaneous linear equations, solve quadratic equations, solve simple linear equations. And they should be able to represent the linear equalities graphically. They should understand the sequences, the relationship, the patterns between different sequences, and generalize sequences as simple algebraic statements. Variation. They should express direct and inverse variation in algebraic terms and use this form of expression to find unknown quantities. Graphs in practical situations. Graphs of functions as well. Function notation. They should understand coordinate geometry. They should understand geometrical terms like points, line, plane, parallel, perpendicular, bearing, right angle, acute, obtuse, reflex angles, interior and exterior angles, similarity, congruence. Use and interpret vocabulary of triangles, special quadrilaterals, circles, polygon, and simple solid figures. Candidates should be able to understand and use the terms center, radius, chord, diameter, circumference, tangent, sector, and segment. They should be able to construct geometrical figures. They should understand similarity and congruence. They should understand symmetry, rotational symmetry, lines of symmetry, etc. They should understand angles, angles at a point on a straight line, angles formed within parallel lines, angles, properties of triangles and quadrilaterals, angle properties of regular and irregular polygons, angles in a semicircle, angle between tangents and radius of a circle, etc., etc. They should understand locus as well, measures, mensuration, trigonometry, Pythagoras theorem, solving trigonometric problems, vectors in 2 dimensions, matrices, transformations, probability, categorical data, statistical diagrams, etc. And these are the mathematical notation. I will go through it. You can have a look at them. The different mathematical notations are given over here. So this was basically the syllabus for O levels maths June and November exam series, and this syllabus should be used is applicable for the exams to be held in 2022, 2023 and 2024.